We got involved with Morningstar and Adviser Workstation back in March 2005. At that time we were looking for an independent source of information on investments, and what we didn't realise, of course, was that since that time the services which Morningstar can offer has expanded, and they've grown more important to our business each year.
The main reasons we selected Adviser Workstation was because it was one tool that could achieve everything we needed. So from the selection process, it had all of the data and the ability to filter that data according to our criteria. It then had the ability to monitor that data going forward, and then had significant client reporting tools and accessibility, which enabled the clients to be able to understand what we were doing.
When thinking about how Adviser Workstation fits into our investment process, if you look at people who invest with us for the first time, it helps us pinpoint accurately just where their portfolios are, where the problems are, what risks are being run, and how far from the market portfolio their investment has strayed unreasonably.
If we're making recommendations, our recommendations can be compared directly with what the client has. So therefore the recommendation that we're making is justified and audited, and a report will flow from that.
In generating new business, Adviser Workstation has helped by providing data and information that both ourselves and the clients have confidently been able to rely on when taking decisions, and has helped spur them on in making those decisions where they were hesitant.
Workstation helps us to generate more business because it has a consistent approach which breeds faith and confidence, and therefore trust in clients that we deal with who refer us regularly.
Adviser Workstation strengthens our client relationships by the speed at which it can produce reports which are useful and understandable by our clients. They can access this via web portals and via their mobile phones, and this in turn keeps us in front of our clients. That makes them think about us when investment opportunities arise.
Clients, especially when they come to the office, they always like to look at Workstation on the basis that it gives them a proof, an indication that we're not just making it up, that it is a very specialised process, and that we're using the Morningstar research and information to make informed choices.
The adoption of Adviser Workstation in our business will strengthen relationships further with the clients, which is particularly important in the run-up to RDR, in so much as being able to demonstrate to the client the value of our advice. Previously, the systems that we've used just haven't been able to cut the mustard when it comes to showing the client exactly what the application of our advice would have provided them in pounds and pence.
Workstation has been a great help, because previously, you have to do your own research. We're living, 20 years ago, the difficulty everybody had was getting enough information. We now live in the modern world where you've got too much information, so it helps us to filter out what we want to know and what we don't need to know.
The use of portfolio planning and application of the service means that we can pull down client information once it's loaded on very, very quickly in real time. That is a massive saving, especially as clients are demanding a quicker turnaround.
Workstation helps us to save time primarily by being able to automate certain processes which any good practice will need to repeat. When providing updated client reports, which again, where there's been no significant changes to a client situation, one button, the report is regenerated, and then an advisor can have a discussion with the client.
We've always calculated the money-weighted returns on assets. In other words, what you're going to get back is net of the fees, but it depends on when you've actually invested the money. Switching to this process involved a certain investment of our time, but has cut down the time we spend on it from a month to just under a week.
There's no one best thing for me about Adviser Workstation, but I can list the three best things. The first of which is the ability to constrain when I'm arranging my asset allocation, the risk metrics that I can apply, and the forward-looking analyst reports.
We have had experience of other data systems where they're great on the face of it, but the level of support has just not been there. So one of the key strengths for our business is not only the ability to adopt it inside the business and therefore have a one-stop portal, but it is also the level of resources that are available through Adviser Workstation and its support programme.
The X-ray is very useful because it helps you to see through everything, so the clients can see that, you know, while they may have, you know, a wide range of funds, that they're all actually pretty much the same. I mean, the graphics and the whole visual aspect of Workstation is very powerful.
In particular, the risk and reward scatter charts, which we're able to demonstrate with clients that show the standard deviation of portfolios, specifically the level of risk they're taking for the level of reward.
Workstation helps us with the challenges of RDR because the regulator will want to see that there is a guiding and supporting process to the investment advice process. The regulator will also want to see that a client's attitude to risk is being matched with the investment recommendations made. Adviser Workstation deals with these issues really well and allows us to maintain and enhance our investment proposition, which means we can retain our independence post-RDR.
Workstation helps us to achieve profitability because we can provide a high level of service to clients at a low time cost, which means it's sustainable and a deliverable which we can be confident we can maintain for the long run.